Anxiety. Hey, how
What's
you
up, Gary?
doing? So, I think what I did was I went into Denise's class and I cut it off
Oh, I
live.
saw it going on. I didn't see you cut it off
Well,
though. So
yeah, because what happened was she probably only had like 80 or 90 people in there, and
mm,
so the same people are coming back. They didn't refresh the schedule, and I'm like, what's going on with my live? How come there's no?
yeah, gotcha. Okay,
How's it going today?
yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a solid day. It's a little busy, but we're making it happen. So appreciate you coming on a little early with me and letting me do this. But
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is my favorite part. I actually are waiting normally every Thursday for that first 30 minutes to warm myself
yeah,
up. So you had a great post about repetitive stress and anxiety and stuff like
mm-hmm,
that.
yeah,
So anybody in the comments, if you're dealing with stress or anxiety, if you're feeling anxious or however you're feeling, can you please put it in the comments now?
yeah. Um, yeah. The other question on that to add to it is like, what 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 mechanisms have you used to kind of help with it? And also, like, are you kind of like tired of it? Are you hopeless? That kind of stuff. That's feelings that I've had um, that have got to this point, which was why I teach this, is because I want other people that felt like I did to be able to control it, fully control those feelings, those out of control, out of the blue, anxiety, stress overload, and that kind of stuff.
And you can see people are saying stress and anxiety today.
Yep.
Definitely stress and anxiety. It's situational. I've been
Yeah.
self-regulating, but feeling very weepy.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Rising, Ruby Jean.
Yeah.
Yes, lots of stress and anxiety. So we got stress and anxiety. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been feeling off, but my off is just like no energy. And
Yeah.
and you look at ADHD, anxiety, psychosis, stress and anxiety physically,
It's an
chronic
epidemic,
neck.
man. It's everybody. It's so many people have it. Especially now that we understand a little bit more. It's kind of how it goes. We understand more, and then that's when we can start to diagnose a little bit better. But
So tell me before we start here, how did this how long were you dealing with these anxiety spikes?
so when I started realizing what it was when I was probably uh, 7 or 8. Um, Totally out of control, just like constant panic attacks and anxiety, where I didn't know what it was then. I just was, and I noticed things that I would start doing to naturally cope with it, and things like I would repeat sayings in my head, like was basically mantras, which would help me kind of like downregulate and come. I just did that as a kid naturally, but still not knowing why I felt this way. I just felt that was normal to be afraid, to live in those kind of uh, live in the constant fear, constant worry, waiting for the next shoe to drop, that kind of thing. Always on edge. Um, and I've worked through it and understand where it came from. But still, as I got older, I would go through phases of that, and I thought, okay, this is just seasonal stuff. This is normal, but it's not normal to feel like that. It's not normal to have chronic anxiety or out of the blue panic attacks, and there's no reason we can't control it. Since I've gone this journey specifically with the breath, I've been able to like totally regulate it. I don't eliminate anxiety again, because anxiety is an essential piece of our being. It's just when it's out of control, when it's chronic, when it comes on out of the blue, that's when it's not something we want. So that's what I try to teach is how to be able to, like, oh, I feel that coming on. I can just go tap into this tool and downregulate and come right back into state.
So, do you ever choose to sit in the emotion out of curiosity?
Yes, yeah, that is. I mean, that is one of the tools. Yeah, to
Yeah.
understand. Sometimes when it's not handy, but that is part of it. It's just like to be aware and to tap into the physical and to understand. Sometimes it's hard to figure out where did that come from, because out of the blue panic attacks are something that people don't understand. But we physiologically, they've proven that people with out of the blue panic attacks show signs of that coming an hour before, physiologically, like in their body, heart rate, breath rate, those things change an hour before that panic attack hits. So if we can start to regulate our breath and our heart and our bodies and start to be a little bit more in touch, then that's how we kind of prevent that from coming on out of the blue.
Right. And that's, I mean, sitting in the emotion is great, but sitting in the panic isn't. So like the
Hmm.
body gets to panic, it's bring down the panic, and then
Exactly.
to the point where where I can regulate the emotion, because otherwise I just don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to be able to. You got to have that clear head and that state that you are not in fight or flight, so that you can sit with the emotion. You know.
Yeah. So what are we doing today?
So it's specifically to one of the many tools. So I talked about on that reel that I posted yesterday about the tools that kind of got me there. But I have many tools, and the one we're going to use today is you're familiar, I'm sure, with polyvagal theory and shaking, and how in nature how shaking is a way for us to downregulate after an extreme event. Now, shaking without with shaking like in the subconscious from an event like that is not something pleasant. It's not something we want to experience. But doing it intentionally can have really amazing effects on downregulation. And I call this bounce breath, bouncing breath, where we are kind of shaking. And I'll back up here a little bit to show you a little bit more. So you can't see my feet, but all I'm going to do is kind of lift up on my toes and then drop the heels. And it's great because like our connective tissue or fascia, we have that moment of compression, and then we have that moment of release. So we have that
That's
bounce,
it's
and
actually a pump for the circulatory
exactly,
system. The
yeah,
calves pump the heart.
and the lymphs as well. You know, get some lymph fluid moving through there
Mhm.
too. It's an awesome movement for that. But when we what I do with the breath now is similar to like a fire breath, but with the mouth. We're gonna do, and we're gonna do rounds of this today. When you do it, it's a standing it's a standing breath practice. So be very aware of like how dizzy you get from it. You should be okay within the amount of time we're gonna do, but just be aware because standing you fall. It's not good for your face. So
Done that before.
it's just not good, not good. So when we do this, we go up, arms are kind of hanging, jaw is relaxed, and the breath sounds like this. The focus is on the exhale, not on the inhale, and you're just gonna let it do its thing. You're gonna go up. Okay. So that's
Got
the
it.
breath, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do rounds of that, and then we're gonna come back to normal breathing. When you look at the body you can close your eyes and do it. You can move, sway the body. The arms are limp, and they're just kind of going with it. And we're gonna do this for 2 minutes. So it looks like this. That's all there is to it. And I want you to notice right now how you're feeling, especially the ones that said, I have anxiety, I'm stressed, all that kind of stuff. Tap into right now how that feels, how you're feeling. And then I want you to go through this and I want you to notice each round the change that you feel. Okay? You're going to feel a lot of vibration, a lot of energy built. It's an amazing one to start the morning with, too. All right. So loosen up, jaw relaxed, face relaxed, eyes relaxed, neck relaxed. And now, only thing that's moving is those calves to draw and drive the breath. Okay? Here we go. Feel that repercussion as it hits the ground, and then feel that release is come back up. We're just bouncing. You can bounce harder, softer. You can kind of sway a little bit. You can kind of feel differences. And don't focus on the inhale, just the exhale. The inhale will do its own thing. Let that jaw. 1 minute left. Feel that. Feel it just kind of the shoulders relaxing. Calves are kind of a little bit pumped here. And keep going with it. 20 seconds left. Close the eyes. 10. Deep breath in. Keep the eyes closed through the nose. Fill it up. Hold it for a second. Release. Come back to normal breathing. And
Yeah, I feel
now
very dizzy.
assess. You feeling a little dizzy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So just be aware of it. If you feel dizzy in this position, hands on knees, and then keep breathing. Just
Oh,
keep breathing.
not that dizzy.
Not that dizzy, yeah. But for everybody else, and anybody that kind of, this is the time to kind of keep breathing into the nose, out the mouth. And I want you to assess how your body feels. You see if you can just close the eyes and feel that flow, that pump. You know, we did pump like Gary said,
I feel
we're pumping,
I feel
releasing,
floatier.
floaty for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I feel I feel like less connected to the bones. I
Mm,
feel more floaty in my fascia, kind of like I done like some fascial maneuvers.
yeah, yeah. Cool. All right, let's do another round.
Okay.
Okay. And now we're gonna pick it up a little bit in speed. Again, if you felt dizzy on that one, don't go faster. Maybe go slower. If
Oh
you
no,
are feeling good, you're feeling.
I want to be down there on my hands and my knees.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking about everybody else,
Okay.
not the Garys of the community.
Yeah, yeah. It's like just like having the ghost peppers. It's like
Yeah, yeah. I know you like to get after it though. So all right, so let's do it. We'll go a little quicker. So again, it's like a slight hyperventilation. So just be aware of how you feel. Okay, be safe. And here we go. Imagine that hit, and that's forcing the air out. Feel free to add the arms in a little bit more. Make it almost dancey. There you go. Freestyle this one a little bit. This is your chance to kind of play with it a little bit. Maybe add a couple more bounces in, but the breath stays the same rate. Minute left here. Try staggering your stance if you want. We'll do 30 seconds one stagger and then switch sides. More power out of the legs, a little more bouncy. Switch a stagger, go to the other side. Now back and forth on the feet if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. Hands on the knees if you need. Feel that vibration in the body right now. It's extreme for me right now.
oh yeah,
Exhale. Keep
yeah.
breathing.
That feels good.
Yeah, really good, man. Super, super vibrational and energetic. Lovely way to start the morning. So get outside if you can. Get in the grass. Get in the on the earth. Get some sun in the eyes. It's perfect time to do that kind of stuff. Fast
Oh, I
maneuvers.
feel it everywhere. Yeah, I feel the face starting to pump up,
Mm,
stomach, meridian through here.
mm. Yeah, I feel it all through. Like the more you can relax the face, the fascia,
Yeah.
and just let it kind of do its thing. It's a beautiful reset. Okay. I'm gonna do one more thing. So that was kind of like the intense version of that. I was gonna finish with a little calmer breath. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to have a seat, this will just kind of bring us back into it. So I like to just go fingers interlaced, kind of like we're doing anti-gravity seated, and kind of the same position. As we inhale, we look up and we pull the fascia up. And this is just one of my favorite maneuvers that I kind of played with a little bit. So inhale up, pulling the fascia up, hold it, keeping pulling on the fascia, keep the breath in, exhale slow and rounding forward. When I'm down, I like to kind of get those twists in there, just like a seated anti-gravity. And holding that exhale out. Keep the breath held on suspension and just play with the movement here. Go as long as you can or until I tell you to. Big inhale up, go back into the same position. Pulling up, holding the breath. Another sip in. Exhale, release round. Still pulling on that fascia and rotating as you feel it. Keeping that breath out, held. A little longer. Right up the center. Deep breath in. Arms back down. Exhale.
Oh, that one actually challenged me.
Did it?
Yeah.
The holds,
Yep.
or what part?
On the exhale, I was like, I was really, I was starting to like crave, like have a oxygen craving, like a insatiable one.
Yeah. That's yeah, I mean, how was your what's different today?
I don't know. That was unusual. I think it's just a different part because I'm sitting now, and I haven't done this in a while sitting, so I'm getting a part of the tissue that I haven't gotten before.
Yeah.
Because if I'm opening up a piece of tissue in the back, fascia in the back, and I haven't gotten it before, all the oxygen is going to go to that tissue, and it's going to take it from the lung. Feels good though.
I mean, how to keep this feeling the rest of the day. This is a great way. If you start your day with this kind of stuff, it'll help prolong it. But you can do this as many times during the day. This is like for people who work an office job. If you can get outside and do this for 5 minutes, you will energize pretty much the rest of your day. This is just I mean, you don't have to be in an office job either. You can do any job, but like I do it. So, yeah, yawning is always a common thing in breath work. It's that nervous system downregulating. How you feeling good? You feeling still dizzy at all? You still feeling all right?
I'm feeling a little bit high, like concentration kind of high, like I smoked a joint.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's look at some of these questions here. Exhale is tough. Yeah. Yep. Exhales are tough. That's a tough one to do, especially after. It's hard to do the breath holds after doing the bounces because there is a pretty good of energy moving when you do that. It's
Yeah,
supposed to come
for
down
sure.
hard. You come down as hard as you can tolerate on the heels, and you can play with that. It doesn't have to be super hard. Whatever you feel comfortable with, but the bounce is the main thing. That little compression though is a nice little. That's the point of it. Is there is a little compression at the bottom, forces the breath out, and it causes that reaction throughout the system. Um, and then Gary, I want to kind of talk to you. I guess I want to talk a bit about doing some like one-on-one stuff too, and doing a little experiment together.
Sure.
So we can maybe have a cool little program or something. Yeah, it'd be fun.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah. So
I'm always
we'll have to check.
open for breath work because you know what, I'm more likely to do fascial maneuvers is the only thing I've ever done consistently for myself, regardless. And I'm more open to do breath work when I'm doing it with somebody.
Yeah, for sure. It took me I have a story that I tell everybody. I'm like, I was a breathwork instructor for 2 years and didn't do breathwork while I was teaching. And I couldn't get myself to do it. So I have some methods for the struggle with that and from my own experience. And now it's just like it is my practice, multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and the
For me,
bounces.
I think it's like a lot of things. If I do it on a more regular, more frequent basis, like 5 days a week or 7 days a week for a month, 28 days straight, then it becomes a part of me. And I know that's my programming.
Yeah. I'd love to help with that and experiment with it and see what we can do together. It'd be fun. I've been thinking about it, so I wanted to offer that to you. But yeah, the bounces, you can just do the bounces. For the people that missed it, when you hit the ground is an exhale. Okay, but the whole point is you can do it with just bouncing without the breath. The breath is like I always say is if you add it to anything and it is like it harnesses more strength. It goes deeper. So I would highly recommend adding the breath to it. But yeah, bounce from toes to heel, like you're just bouncing on your toes. And again, you could do this seated.
Oh, seated too. Yeah. Oh, seated. I'm going to use that seated.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times I'm seated and I can move, but I don't want to get up.
Yeah,
because I'm on a call or
yeah,
something like that. I have no problem bouncing around on a call.
yeah, yeah,
On
yeah,
our calls, it's like people are doing fascial
yeah.
maneuvers, working on their head. Yeah, because it's like we're taught to sit at attention, right?
I know.
That's at tension.
Yeah, yep. It's definitely a we are taught a lot of things to not do. So, but that's where we diagnose people with ADHD because they are being human beings. You know.
Well,
Um,
that's the problem that we have with the kids,
yeah, exactly. They're being kids.
especially
And they're being
boys.
active.
We're diagnosing and down regulating boys, and that's part of the reason why boys aren't becoming men.
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
they have one of the worst completion rates in school compared to women and stuff like that too. So it's yes, we're different. So um, the a lot of questions on people that missed it. We're gonna post this back up. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, you can just go and check it out at your own time. Um, yeah, yep. Okay. So yeah, then we talk about with the upcoming. We were supposed to do that 4-part series, but we're gonna push it
Push it till
back a little bit.
the new year, but we're gonna
Yep.
do one. We're gonna do it. You're gonna do a 1-part series, right?
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna do a one-off breath, mindset, and movement, and a little bit of science session. So it'll be about probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, and uh, it'll be a really cool little course that we'll run through here. It'll be me and my partner Steve will be heading that. My Origins retreat partner.
So so one of the things is if you're actually like doing a totally twisted, and then use pumping with the one leg.
Mm.
I can feel it going right in my head right away.
Yeah,
So
that would be an awesome, especially seated.
yeah, well,
Doing that,
seated totally twisted is powerful.
I love it. Yeah, I actually do that a lot. So it's probably my most common like seated maneuver.
It, it,
I'll just,
it is. I do seated maneuvers quite a bit.
mm. And you could add that bounce to it. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the fun stuff is being able to play with multiple modalities and tools, and apply them to being a human being in a modern world.
Yeah, I'm feeling feel a lot of energy right in my heart area.
Yeah, I can feel that too.
Yeah, more than normal.
Mm.
What else is going on there for questions?
I'm just checking them. Like qigong, yeah. There's some aspects of that in there. I'm not really super versed with qigong, but I've done some of it.
I mean that's a good question. There's all kinds of different breathing techniques. I think the challenge is that each one of the practices has some stuff that are really good for me and some stuff that just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's part of a discipline or practice, people I notice want to do every part of it, even the parts that don't work.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what I love about your stuff is that you have taken a lot of different disciplines or a lot of different practices and you put them together. And literally that's what fascial maneuvers was. It was taking a lot of different ideas,
Yep.
not one of them in its entirety, and saying, well, if I do this, what does this what does this do to my body? If I breathe this way, what does it do?
That's the benefit of creativity is not just like, yeah, you said taking a modality and that is your now, like when someone says breath work, a breath instructor will say holotropic is the only breath work. That is breath work. Or it's Buteyko, or it's rebirthing. It's like it's all within that big scope, and we should be able to take the pieces that work for each person and program it into them based on what they need. And that's not what happens most of the time.
Someone was asking about sitting in an office chair. Also, guys, if you go to our YouTube, you have seated fascial maneuvers. That's one of the ways you can do that.
Yeah. That's, I mean, yeah, like,
somebody asked you to suggest stretching before a bounce exercise, especially for somebody in a PT stage with their lower body. What's a PT stage?
Physical therapy.
Yeah.
But I would know it as. But I mean, if you're, I mean, it's kind of have to be your discretion. I mean, if you need to stretch, I think it's. I mean, if you're normal functioning, bouncing is kind of like a pretty functional, straightforward movement. But if you have issues, plantar fasciitis or some Achilles strain or something like that, or calf injury or whatever, you have to play that with your own discretion. I would stretch if you have calf issues or whatever, or do it seated.
So somebody said they felt their vertebrae really heavy against the against the L5, the lower one.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, is that an area that you feel? Do you feel that normally? Is there what's going on? What's going
Yeah,
on with
usually
you?
what I would do is tell them to do a jaw release because it'll create more space between C1, C2. That means it automatically creates more space between L5 and L4.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, bouncing when it comes to the spine, especially when you land on those heels, first of all, is going to give you feedback to where those areas of tension that you have in the body, which could just give you some identification of where to kind of do some more of the work. And then also, it shows you what what you're facing every day at a micro level, where you're walking, wherever you're walking, sitting, that kind of thing.
Okay, this looks good. And I know you got to get out here a little bit early today, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah,
let's end that here today. That's a really good session. We've got
yeah,
some good questions answered. I'm going to actually start using that. I'm going to try that this week. Every time I'm seated,
cool.
I'm going to, because I sit in meetings sometimes for
Yeah.
hours. The way the current setup is, I'm either I like to stand or I like to squat. I'm in between standing and squatting right now. So I've been sitting just to see how my body responds. I'm going to try that while I'm sitting.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. Like we went through sitting is the devil, and then everybody went to standing full time, and standing is not totally ideal either for long periods of time. So we got to have that blend of sitting, standing, kneeling, squatting, whatever.
Yeah,
More positions the better.
like when I work on my computer, I go to a coffee table and I work like this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And when I eat like this quite often too. If I'm alone, I'll eat like this.
That's cool. Yeah, I do that. I do kneeling at a desk, different positions. Yeah, the more positions you can do, the more variance you can get with movement. That's the key. The overload, that's the problem. So.
Okay, Ryan, awesome.
Thanks, Gary.
So we'll get the date up for the one-off course.
We'll figure that out today.
For breathing mindset.
Yeah, and I'll message you about the other part too. So
okay,
get
awesome.
that going too. Cool, man.
Okay,
have a great day.
Take care. Thanks, Ryan.
Right. Thank you.